walk me home. This is mostly just to stay awake. I don't even know if I'll post it. I did not post most of my stir fry videos this morning. I made a couple of them. Anyways, I'm just getting home from work. Parts of it were difficult, and I'll leave it at that. And it's just to me a sad statement that it's just my experience as an adult in the corporate world has just not been edifying. That's all I'll say. It's just sad. Even nonprofits, even like I don't even know what you would call the blind vendors, but they weren't a profit organization, really. But what is that? I don't know. Not important. Anyways, it's just hasn't been good. And I just feel like Jesus is the only one that really has my back. Even smiling faces can stick a knife in your back. And I'm pretty sure that happened tonight. And I think it's very sad. I'm not even angry, just defensive, I guess. I'm just like, what the hell? Anyways, so I've decided I'm going to do a handout tomorrow. In part because tomorrow is the last day of the extended hours on the 85. And the, I can go out pretty late. And I don't know what that was. Thought I saw something. So I can actually do a little work in the morning, a little work at night. So that'll be good. I just need to chill up some hydration drinks. I put my recipe into Google AI. I won't give the recipe because that has a large amount of sodium. And the AI was not happy about that. But I need a lot of sodium physically every day, or I will get very sick. I need more than the average amount of sodium, especially if I'm out in the heat. So I'm not afraid of that. It did suggest I add some sugar to the mix, which I hadn't really considered. And I don't think it would be harmful to my waistline to put like 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar in the drinks total. I mean, I make it by the quart. I'll get that much. And if I put 1 tablespoon in a quart of water, I don't think that's going to hurt me if I have a couple of quarts there, you know. But as a rule, though, I try to avoid sugar. Like when I get the fruit cup, I like the fruit cup now and then. I had a fruit cup after work on my way home on the bus. I didn't care who saw, and the bus driver didn't care that I was eating it. And but I try to get like the fruit cup in the natural juice. I don't care what juice it is, just in a regular juice, not in a syrup. I'm not a fan of syrups. Although I was given a can of pears in syrup recently, and I believe I read something in one of those natural remedy columns years ago about pear syrup was good for nausea. So if I get an upset stomach.
You want to ride?
Oh no, I'm good, boss. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, be safe, Hefe. He, I think, was just being a gentleman, not a pervert. But I am glad I'm wearing my little cross here. they were on clearance. So I got a couple, one for my vest at work and one for my vest here. I might get another one for my bag, but and that would surprise nobody at work that I bought up all the crosses. But yeah, I do, I vaguely remember that, so I'm gonna keep them definitely. And times get really tough. I won't care about the syrup, but like the applesauce, I get that unsweetened kind. I try to get like the rice pudding and regular pudding and tapioca and stuff like that without the sugar added. But I'm just tired, and I have to remember, and this is a good rule for any opposition I may face, not just employment opposition, we'll call it, is that I can't do it on my own, but God in me will get me through it. And that is the important lesson, people. And I just need to focus on that and do what I can and document what I can. And I did make a pretty good argument tonight with photos that, I was doing my job, but other people are not. And that's causing problems for me because they look at the mess and they think I did it, and I didn't. So, I have some photos for that. But, yeah, it's just not easy sometimes. But on the other hand, if I'm doing outreach, and I have done outreach today, I had several packets when I left the house. I didn't count. I try not to. But I handed out 5 just on the way home. So, bad things don't like that. So, I had the Bible handouts, they don't like me. So, whatever you want to call it, bad things. Bad things works for me. Because do I think like the king of hell is gunning for me? No. But he has minions. And I'm sure some of them sometimes. But just to cause trouble for me however they can. Like sometimes I just drop everything. What is going on? There's somebody just, oh, she's walking a dog. Okay, it's a pit bull. He smells my cat. Madre de gatos. Spanish people seem to like that phrase. Hi. I'm very glad I'm wearing a reflective vest because I'm sure not going to walk over by the pit bull. Not that I think it's necessarily a bad dog, but if I come up on any kind of strange dog in the middle of the night, when I'm stressed out, it's going to have an issue with me being near his mom. And any animal would. So, boy, everybody's out tonight. Yeah, don't run me over, please. Never should have taken that ride. This is not very nice doing. But, yeah. Sometimes I wonder about the neighbors. I'm sure people talk about me. The drivers have told me they talk about me. I'm okay with that. They're nice people. They're coming from a good place. I'm sure they talk about me at work. There's some mean girl cliques in particular that just want to hang out in the break room and just talk trash about people. Then there's the smiling faces. I was telling one of my black drivers about this tonight. He's about my age. And I said, do you remember that old song, Smiling Faces? I took him in and he's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I said, yeah, that's pretty much what tonight was. And he's like, oh, okay. So you can look it up. I might put a link in the comments. But, I kind of hope the neighbors do talk about me so they know I'm not just some vagrant even though I look like one. But I did clean the vest on my last day off, and I have some cheapo body spray that I bought at Dollar Tree that does not provoke a headache in me. Presumably it does not provoke a headache in anybody else. It's a fresh floral, so, you know, hopefully I don't smell like I've been working all day and out in the sun at the bus stop. But, yeah, so if I'm making a stand for Jesus, there's going to be opposition. And it's going to come on pretty much any front. My dad had a health scare. I had migraine. I had some other issues too I didn't talk about. The tub faucet is leaking. God knows how much that's going to cost. And that just started. And you know, things like that. And then now I'm just getting problems at work. So it's, I will say, it's like management, and at least some management, can't see what I am doing. They only see what isn't being done. So all I can do is just get my squad on that and say, hey, can you pray for me for them to see clearly what I'm doing? And we can do that too. I will not say no. And just scanning. It's always a good idea. I am not as good as I could be at situational awareness. But I have had God prompt me now and then and say, hey, you need to turn around, and I do, and there's somebody there that wasn't there a minute ago. So, you know, but yeah, I've had various health issues, most of which I have not talked about. Things like that. So I can always use prayers for protection. I just strength to handle whatever comes. And that's very important. But for a very long time, I just operated as if, you know, I could just go out and do all this big stand for Jesus, and I was just invulnerable. Nothing bad was going to happen. And then I would come home, and Mom would have a blackout and chase me out of the house, and, you know, just, you know, that kind of thing. So, and I read an interesting book on evangelism right before I started doing the Bible handouts, and there is a direct connection there. It was a book on Hebrews, actually. And Living Water, that was it, by Brother Yoon. And very good book. And he said, you're going to have opposition. It is promised you're going to have opposition when you go out and share Jesus. And he said, and it's going to come from all fronts. And one thing the devil loves to do is use your family against you. And when Ron was alive, that was the case. And now that he's gone, it isn't really my biological family, but, you know, other people that I trust. So, you know, I have to watch my back, guard my heart, watch my six, as my friends would say. And I'm at the mailbox. And last night, when I got home, I took a Benadryl. I'm not a Benadryl, a Zyrtec. And that knocked me out pretty good. But sometimes it can have the opposite effect. And considering I'm going to be doing a Bible handout today, or later. Okay. Health insurance market. Why am I getting all this stuff for the neighbors? This is probably something she needs. This I'm gonna take her. But, yeah, I'm probably not going to sleep very well. I generally have problems with my sleep around a Bible handout. Sometimes I get a cold or a migraine or some kind of terrible stomach issue. Be careful with those leftovers, people. And yeah, one time I think it was a pork chop got me. I had to call out. But yeah, so I'm careful. But there's just going to be issues. So I'm just going to do what I can to keep my hands clean and the best that I can. Oh, it's a shoe. Like, what is that thing in the road? Why is there only one shoe? I've always wondered that. It's always like one shoe. And that guy parked his car on the main street with his car alarm on a high sensitivity, which in my opinion was not smart. But it probably won't keep me up. I'm gonna hate to do this, but I'm gonna need to wake up the neighbors here. It looks like they were doing some more work. They're done with me though. And the other day I caught one of the contractors watering my sod. I thought that was very interesting because I had not watered it. I was bad and it was looking a little puny, but he was watering it. I thought that was very sweet. And I need to put out some kind of outreach for people who come to my door because make sure. Priest of the Sacred Heart, that is not me. Okay, Health Insurance Marketplace, that is not me. Electric bill, that is me. Okay. So now to be quiet. This is what a zero lot line looks like, people. This is the edge of my property. This is their property. I'm walking on between the houses, up their sidewalk, and I'm going to leave this on the porch. Okay. Yeah, there's a TV on, so somebody's up. I don't feel like such a jerk. Okay. I'm walking back to my house. I don't think it's worth knocking on the door, but it was health insurance paperwork, so that to me is important. Something from the marketplace. So, and I probably just committed a crime by saying that, but I didn't open it. Okay, unlocking the door. And oh, nobody's home. Alright, just for curiosity's sake, I'm gonna open the electric bill and see what it is and tell you. I won't show you the company though. It is a not the main one for Houston. I think it was Reliant that was the big one, and then they had some kind of antitrust thing, and then all these other companies popped up, and you will notice I'm very careful about sharing certain details about my life. These pants are great, but they're kind of baggy. I like the bagginess on a hot day, though. So, oh, there it is. I meant to take this to work. This is my ham radio license. I'm not showing most of it with my old call sign. I will say it was effective on 5/23/95. And it was good for 10 years. And when it expired, Ron and I had cell phones by then, so we decided we were okay. We mainly used it to talk to each other. And then we were on what they call a repeater, which is kind of like a message board, basically, for ham radio operators. You all just kind of hang out on the channel and talk to each other. But there's a lot of protocol. You know, how do you, you know, how you do things, basically. And part of getting the license is learning the protocol. And like when you get on, from what I remember this is like 30 years ago. My hair keeps getting caught. You would get on and you would say, you know, your call sign, like AB1DE, you know, AB1DE, you know, and then when you logged off, you would say AB1DE when you signed off. And I think every 10 minutes you had to give your call sign. So Ron and I had sequential call signs. And I don't think I ever told this story, but so Ron was very stubborn in some ways. Like, he liked electronic gadgets, but his memory was not what he thought it was. So he would say, well, you know, just read me the manual once and I'll be okay.